back. This is the South African Morning. Now, this morning, eNCA is focusing on lawlessness in the country. Defence Minister Thandi Modise recently lamented the low level of public trust in law enforcement agencies. Well, there's been a spate of attacks on taverns, illegal strikes, as well as violent protests. Human Science Research Council senior research specialist Dr. Stephen Gordon from the HSRC has been looking into this and joins us now to give us some clarity. Doctor, pleasure having you. Good morning to you. Let's get straight into it. What informs low public trust when it comes to the police in this country?
Well, thank you very much. As you point out, public trust in the South African police force has fallen to its lowest level in 23 years. Currently, 27% of the mass public say that they trust SAPS. Now, what are some of the reasons for this extremely low level of trust? Fundamentally, poor performance by SAPS drives what we're seeing here today. Consider the Western Cape. Now, trust in the police in the Western Cape went up substantially when large police resources were deployed to fight gangsterism in the province in the last few years. However, the failure to make meaningful progress in this fight against organized crime led to a dramatic fall in public trust, in public confidence in SAPS, the failure to achieve results resulting in poor levels of trust with the police. There are, of course, many other factors. We must consider, for example, the damage that large-scale acts of mass violence do to public confidence. The last time levels of trust were this low was during the Marikana massacre in 2012. And indeed, the social unrest last year in KwaZulu-Natal had a very damaging effect on how the public saw the security forces, particularly SAPS.
Yeah.
Now, there are other factors. We must not forget about police corruption, the view that the police treat the public with disrespect, that they treat the public in an unfair and partial manner, not providing the justice and equality of service that they should legally provide.
Right. Doc, does the survey go as far as looking into any challenges that SAPS may experience internally? Are we hearing from former SAPS or current SAPS members themselves about where the challenges are, where the gaps are, hence, you know, I suppose the inefficiencies that we're seeing within the SAPS?
Now, the study we've done is a public opinion study conducted through the South African Social Attitude Survey. It looks at people's views of the police. Right. However, very important work has been done on this issue by the Institute of Security Studies here in South Africa. Their concern is on the hierarchical nature of the police force, as well as a militaristic organizational paradigm that does not seem to have brought meaningful reductions in crime in South Africa.
Right. So with that being said, what needs to be done, or at least even from the perspective of the Institute of the Security Studies, what needs to be done to improve public attitudes, do you think, towards the police?
There are a number of fundamental steps. Firstly, again, we must come back to the issue of police efficiency. The police and security forces, to a larger extent, must bring down the level of crime, particularly the level of violent contact crime, which is most detrimental to public attitudes towards the police. In addition, we need to see reduction in corruption within this organization and the police treating the general public with a greater level of fairness and impartiality, providing that services which the public feel they deserve from law enforcement. Indeed, one of the important measures that we look at is when people want problems solved in their lives regarding security, they name the police as the preferred service provider. People want the police to perform a justice role, yet they're very disappointed when asking the police to perform that role.
Right. I'm sure you've seen the viral, video of Police Minister Bheki Cele screaming and shouting "shut up" to Ian Cameron from Action Society during a community engagement. And I just wonder, obviously there was a lot of debate around that engagement between the minister and Ian. And I just wonder from your perspective what the research says about the importance of police taking accountability, that also being a culture that's been promoted within SAPS, where they can take accountability for where they have wronged or where they have lagged, so to gain that public trust again.
You raise a very, very important issue. If we look at the public opinion data, one of the criteria for democracy that South Africans feel is most important is that government ministers, elected officials, listen to the concerns of the public, that they be responsive to public demands, to public anxieties about the future. One of the areas where people feel South African democracy is letting them down is the responsiveness of elected officials, government ministers, senior public servants to the needs of the public. There's a feeling that the most powerful in South Africa are not listening to the poor, to the working class, to the ordinary person in the street.
All right, we'll leave it there. I appreciate you sharing this data with us. Human Sciences Research Council Senior Research Specialist, Dr. Stephen Gordon, thank you so much for your time.